Hello, everyone. Author D.L. Tillery here, the Mistress of War, and welcome back to my live streams. It is Sunday, and I have been busy, but I'm here for my usual live streams, which happens on every Sunday and Tuesday of the week at 6 p.m. Now, what am I be working on tonight? I do have some more reading to do. Of course, there's always writing to do, but I'm going to be starting off with some reading. I end up having to DNF the book I was reading. I just could not take it anymore, and yeah, that was something. Ugh, which really upset me because I ended up DNFing it once I got to about page 100, which was only probably about 64 pages left. But I had to leave a review for this book because it was one of those instances where that was part of the deal. But of course you could not review it; you had to back out of reading it. Um, but the writer did get paid for the pages that I read since it was a KU book. But I just didn't feel good. I was gonna the review wasn't gonna be good. I didn't enjoy the book. I wasn't enjoying the book. The writing style was definitely not something I was enjoying either. Too much telling, not enough showing, a extreme amount of telling, and not done well telling, in my opinion. So I really didn't just could not anymore. It started going where I did not think it would. There was no kind of lead up that would be the case. So I decided to step away. That being said, I am reading another book that I am enjoying. It's a thriller, and going to see where that goes. I do like this writing better, so I am still looking forward to finishing this book. I have challenges for reading that I'm doing this year and using what is it the Kindle Reader. They have challenges through that. So my plan is to read 65 books, and also I'm going to try to do some of the challenges that they have each month, like read each day. I did miss 2 days this month, which is that was a mistake, but things happened. But I did read every other day in this month so far, so I'll be reading this book that I'm currently on tonight. And the title for this book, let me double check because I did just get it the other day. It's called Corpse. Yes, Corpse, and yeah, I am very much looking forward to finishing this one. So I think that would be my reading. Oh, the vibrations on my phone get on my nerves. Um, that's the one I'll be reading to start off these sprints tonight. Though I will be transitioning to reading probably by the second sprint, I think, because I do. I want to write a short story for Bookworm Zine that they're taking submissions for some horror. So I'm going to write a short story for that. And submit that. That is due by the end of May. So I need to get working on that one, and because it has to be, edited and stuff, and then also mailed physically. So I have to do that. So I definitely have some work to get that done before a certain time so they can get it in the mail. Anyway, that's what I'll be working on tonight. If you do end up joining this as a live, then please let me know in the chat what you're working on tonight, whether you're just hanging or you're working on another project, you're editing, you're reading, you're writing, whatever you're working on, let me know. I'm going to go ahead and get the first sprint started. We do 30-minute sprints here. Usually we get 3 in before I end at 8 o'clock. So let's do that. There we go. And this is one of my new timers. This one is the Blood Over the Lake 30-minute timer. So I'm going to go ahead, and the editor on YouTube has not been working all day long. So I wasn't able to add a sound at the end of the video. Usually on my timers, I like to add a sound at the end so you know it's ending. But we'll see if it's activated yet. But the editor has been acting up all day, so it probably won't be, but I'll be paying attention nonetheless. So I'll see you in 30 minutes. Happy writing, reading, editing, or whatever you're working on. And that's time. Oh, and the freaking editor, like I said, wasn't working. I usually have like sound near the last 10 seconds of the video, so it gives like a warning that we're almost done the sprint. But like editor, YouTube editor just was not working today. I don't know what's up with that. Like I don't know what's wrong at all. So weird. Anyway, I did manage to do some of the reading for that book that I'm working on reading. I think I finished another chapter. Yeah, finished another chapter. I had to eat dinner, so it was like a half and half of that. I probably would have got to do two chapters if didn't have to eat for half of that, just about 15 minutes or so, 10 minutes of it. Then I got to read. So let's see who popped in. Hey, DL, how you doing? And Devin, hello again. I know you were over on SD's stream with me. For that, thanks for being there too. That was a fun interview, live stream, chat thing that we did. I really love and enjoy talking about Caliostro, my debut novel. I really do enjoy talking about it, especially with people who read it, because it's always fun. And she has some off-screen questions when we were finished that I was able to answer for her as well. This stuff she was interested in seeing what was up. But yeah, some things I could share because it was non-spoiler, but not spoiler for her, because she read the book. Um, that was. I have the book on my nightstand ready to go. Also, I hope you enjoy it. It's been getting Raven reviews. I have all 5 stars mostly. I think I got my first 4-star the other day. But I think that's because the reader is the type of reader who doesn't necessarily like cliffhanger, so to speak. But my cliffhanger setting for the first book is intentional because that it's a sequel. So, and I like writing cliffhanger. At least for like not a last book, but if it's a series, then you may get a cliffhanger in between. I'm not saying the second book will be, but the first book was. Definitely to pull you in type of situation. But yeah, oh, thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, so people are reading it. People are reading it, and deals. I'm slowly reading through it. I appreciate that, of course. Um, yeah, I'm almost to 10 reviews. It's so hard to get reviews. I mean, I've sold over 100 copies of the book. Let's see how hard it is to get reviews to that ratio. um, but I should have, I think, currently one review that should be up soon, and then another review coming, probably by the weekend, next weekend coming. So it's getting there. I know Amazon's thing is like 15 reviews is what you need. Oh yeah, your book, yeah, book 2 has a cliffhangers. This is a soft one though, yeah. I mean, I don't mind cliffhangers, but some readers do, and then it's just how it is. Everybody likes what they like or doesn't like, you know. Um, just like I said before this, I ended on a cliffhanger. I DNF'd the book, and I hardly DNF books. Like I usually do not do that, but I really couldn't take the book anymore. I was in good faith too, as well to the writer in this instance, because I was if I finished the book, I was obligated to leave a review. But I didn't want to leave a 1-star or 2-star review. And I just wasn't liking it. I just didn't like it. I didn't like the style of writing, too much telling. I didn't like where it went because it was a romance from what it read, and it ended up turning, not that I have anything against poly stories because I do read those too, but it ended up turning into like a poly relationship, which I wasn't aware that that's where it was going. So I was like, okay, this is out of left field. It just wasn't a lot of good lead up. It wasn't, um, for me, it just wasn't written well. And it was like stuff happened way too quick, and because it was being told and not in the best telling form. Because, a lot of fantasy, for instance, this isn't fantasy, but a lot of fantasy has heavier cases of telling than showing in some cases, which is fine because that's the type of genre it is. But this is not fantasy, so it wasn't expected. It was just a little too much of it. Yeah, I didn't finish it, so I wasn't going to leave a review. I feel you on that. Devin said I do the same. I won't leave reviews on books I don't like. So I finish. Yeah, I just if I don't like them to that degree, I don't see any point. I know some people are like, well, it's because no, but it's my opinion. I mean, other people very well could like it, so I don't see if I'm going to feel that I'm like going to trash the book. I don't feel a need to leave a review on it. And if I don't finish it, I'm definitely not leaving a review because I only have a right to leave a review if I'm not willing to finish the book. That's how I feel. Because if you didn't read the whole book, it's no need to even leave a review. Like, what are you doing with your life? Like, stop. I need you to stop. I don't talk bad about my beloved fantasy like Hall JK. Right? Hey, hey. It's not bad. Telling is not bad if done well. If done well. If done well. But some people don't know how to do it well. You know, you can't say Jane went to the store. Then Jane was back home and changed her clothes. Jane went to school the next day and had a fight with Sam. Jane was back home and cooked dinner. Like you can't do it like that. That's not good telling. Like you skipping too much stuff. No one knows what's going on. It's not good. And I felt that's what was happening. Well, the first two chapters of the book was all telling. There was not one piece of dialogue in the first two chapters of the book. And I'm like, what is this? Yeah, it just wasn't. It just wasn't. There was what do I click though? There's a no build up or nothing. I love a good slow burn, spice or not. There's some. Listen, also it got very spicy, which is fine. Like very spicy is fine. Okay, I read erotica. Okay, I have no problem with detailed sex scenes or anything. But like it, I was so annoyed by the time it got to that. Let's say those portions of the book. I was so annoyed with the way the writing was going and the way she was telling everything and the character in general that I didn't even have any interest in the sex scenes. That's I didn't even care. And the sex scenes weren't badly or poorly written. That's one thing she was doing that was decent. But I was at that point she already had lost me as a reader. Like it was by the time she got to that stuff, then I didn't care anymore. So you know, it's like the gothic version is zero spicy. Right, they have zero spice, which is fine, you know. Like, nope, gotta show the fight. You do, right? You do have to show the fight. That, as far as I'm concerned, you do. I was yes, the first two chapters was all telling, which is like okay, but it needs to be done a certain way if you're going to be telling. And in my opinion, I mean, because people could like the way this is written, and I just do not. You know what I mean? But it just wasn't for me. And I definitely, since I DNF'd it, I definitely was not going to leave a review for something I didn't finish. And I felt like I gave my time to read this book. And it was like I felt like I wasted my time. I could have been reading something else, or I could have been watching one of my shows that I really like to watch, or something, or writing, or whatever. But I tried, like I really did. I made it to page 100, and it's like only 164 pages. I just could not anymore. And also, it was like a lot of people who watch my channel know that I love K dramas and Chinese dramas, and Japanese dramas. I predominantly watch K dramas and Chinese dramas. Lately, I've been leaning more Chinese dramas because you have to wait a lot for the Korean dramas to make. They don't. I'm so caught up that is I'm waiting for some to come out because that's all I watch. I only watch Asian cinema, and this book I thought I was gonna like it because it was like a K-pop or idol themed whatever romance blah blah blah, and no, that made it worse because this person, the way she wrote, it was kind of like I don't know if she just had a interest in K-pop and K-dramas, and she didn't know much about the Korean culture besides what she learned from like K-dramas or something, because she had some things right, but then some of the things she didn't have right about actual Korean culture and likelihood of some things not happening. Also, the character, like the female lead who was start off as a young teenager and grows up. I'm sorry, but if your character, if everything works out all the time, that's not very believable. Also didn't force you to write a realistic world-based story. Like these are real places. I mean, it's based in South Korea. The character's an American who moved to South Korea with her family. You know, But that's not, it was a lot of issues. It was like everything worked out every single time. And also, one thing that kind of threw me was the female character was, while she's a teenager going to high school. Well, no, the first thing that made me upset, and I even want to start the next sprint soon. The sec- the first thing that annoyed me, and you don't really want to read it to get too annoyed because then it pulls you out of the story. But the first thing that annoyed me was when she said that her father was in the military, and then they get posted different places, and then she was like, okay, well, she had to learn the language somewhat. She hadn't really done anything with Korean or anything like that. We even watch K dramas at this point, so the character does. And then she's like, they had to move in 3 months, and then she had a nerve to say that, yeah, I'm not. She was that the character isn't fluent, but then she could have conversations. She could hold conversation and stuff. And I was like, what? So wait, she never had done any language, no Korean language, and she was what? She could have conversations in 3 months. Is she a genius level? No, I doubt it. Like, I doubt it. The character didn't come off that was the type of character that the character was. So I was like, that's not believable. Like, I'm sorry, you do have to write believable when you base your characters in the real world. You got real places. That's on you for choosing to do that. So you need to make sure the stuff is believable, because then you're going to lose your readers. Because if they go outside of the story and start thinking about, well, this doesn't make sense, then you've lost them. So I'm sitting there like, she did what in Mountain? Okay. Just because you said, oh, she wasn't fluent, but she has whole conversation. Fluent would be like you've mastered it, but there's stages when you're learning a language. And she would definitely not just be able to hold conversations in 3 months of trying to learn Korean. Did she speak Japanese before this? Because that's one of the only ways that you would pick it up, or you were a languages, like you just pick up on languages. She did not say that. So I'm like, okay, that's not believable. One. Two, while she was a teenager, she apparently was having sexual relations with other teenage boys that were Korean in Korea and bringing them back to her mother's apartment. And I'm sitting there like, have you ever talked to Asian parents ever? In what time and space would these Korean teenage boys in school have time to have sexual relations with you, not get in trouble, because they almost have no time but to study? I'm just being honest. Also, bringing them back to your mother's apartment, their parents would have, them, if they even thought about it. And you're a foreigner. I'm not trying to be funny, but it's not that simple. Also, everything worked out. Her mom was like divorcing her dad in Korea, and then her mother, she said, good thing my mom had administrative like degree and blah blah blah, so she got a job just like that. I'm like, okay. And you got into the school you wanted. You do know you're from America, right? Our school systems are not similar. Most Asian countries schooling like requirements are much higher and harder than ours. Just being honest here. So the fact that she just got into the school of her choice in Seoul is not even believable. Like, how would she have tested and managed to do it when she's coming directly from an American school? Like, what happened now? And she got a scholarship for going to college because she was so. I'm like, this is not even. I'm sorry. I just don't. I just can't. Anyway, but it was unbelievable at leading up. So the time she got to like, oh, the heated like, oh, sex and stuff like that, I didn't care. Like, your story needs to be good, whether you have like sex scenes or not. I don't care. Like, you didn't even come off and say it's erotica or anything. Not that it has to be just because there's sex scenes, but her sex scenes was leaning that. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Anyway. Devin said Jane moved about her day in the same boring, robotic fashion as always: wake, dress, school, home. Her life was dull, plain. that does sound interesting. Talk about what I was saying, but yeah. There is no time for extra smexies in Korean job. Yeah, it really isn't. Well, when you're a teenager, that's my point. Now, if it was an adult, yeah, maybe, right? Adults be doing, but we're talking about kids. Their parents will kill them if they aren't like you had some Korean teenagers talking about, like they don't like when they do it in dramas and stuff. Sometimes they have a teenager making out in a library. They would never. They would never. They going to go to school, and then if they can finish school, most of them got to go to like an after study, blah blah blah. Luckily to get home, by the time it's dark. Then they have to finish the schoolwork that they got when they get home, and then go to sleep, wake up, and do it all over again. That's generally the life of a teenager in Korea. Okay, so the fact that she acted like these boys will have time to be having for her as a teenager and going back to her mom's apartment and stuff. She said, well, I went after bad boys and blah, blah, blah. Like, girl, I'm going to have to ask you to stop. I know you want to write us like a fantasy fetish type of situation that's going on here. But, like, I'm sorry. You need to make it believable. Or just go straight to the sex. Like, this write an erotica. You can save us all this trouble. Sorry. The plot is the most important thing to me in any story. Yeah, it is. Like, I guess her point is like, that she grows up and matures, and then she finds like what she's really into. But it ended up leading to like she has like a friends with benefits relationship, and then she ended up in a poly relationship, which is fine. I read polyamorous relationships and stuff like that, but like it's kind of cheesy the way she writes it into the story, and like I don't know. I'm babbling on at this point because no one know what book I'm talking about. But if you want to check it out, I think it's called Brewing Awakening or something like that. Like it's a coffee reference by Beth Coffee, I think the person's name is. But I couldn't recommend it myself because I did not enjoy it. But that's mostly because again I just don't like her style of writing, which this is an opinion. And then I just didn't like the lead up, and I just wasn't enjoying where it was going. So I was like, oh, I'm out, peace. The book I'm writing now has a poly relationship. Yeah, I like poly story. Like especially when they're written well. Like I want somebody who know what the heck they're doing. Cause like it's not that the poly relationship that she ended up having in the story was like I don't know. I'm sure it could have went somewhere. I guess 64 more pages, maybe something else could have happened. But it was just I didn't feel the relationships were leading to anything that was really say I love you like real. Also, I don't know. I'm not sure if she know like in a lot of Asian cultures they won't be saying I love you so quickly. That's not they're not Americans. That's not here we'll say that quite, of course not even mean it, but Asian people kind of take it more. They really not going to say it so fast until they really mean it. So you'll get more I like you a lot quicker, also on a norm than like a stronger I love you. Um, Also, she didn't really have a relationship. It was like friends with benefits with the one guy who was like, and then it tried to act like it was getting serious, but then she turned poly with the other two dudes that end up in the story, and it was not written well. Like it could have been had potential, true, but I just once the book getting on my nerves, if I'm skipping the sex scenes, I'm done. Because I like a good sex scene, I do. But I was done at that. But you skipping that part, nope, you lost me. I'm just saying. Anyway, I'm going to start the next sprint. So we got another 30 minutes sprint. Let me change the timer. Let's see which one I have. Another one I uploaded today. Let's go with this one. And I still do need to add the end sound to them, which probably won't show up until tomorrow, more likely. But I'm going with. Yeah, definitely hot messes first. Like I felt that it was. Look, I'm writing a story that has I guess a polyamorous type of setting. It's a series actually, and this is like a relationship of like 9 or 10, I should say. So more like a reverse harem, but like we keeping them all type of situation. So it can be done. But that's probably one of the better surprises I would say of the book. But she had no lead up that was going to be the case. Besides that the boys were around. I don't know. And she kept making it like, oh, she loves this guy, this K-pop singer that she was with. Like she kept her saying that, like she was so in love with this dude. And then they break up so easily, first off. And like right after, she's right with the other two guys, which is okay. Some relationships end and start quick, but it was just like the rest of the writing, and it's like just dump it quick over. Like it's a hot mess. Just like you said, hot mess express for real, real. Hello, Jocelyn. Nice to see you. I'm going to start the next sprint here. Let me add it to the stream here. And I will see everyone in 30 minutes. At least I'm reading a book that I'm interested in currently. And that's time. Let me know how you did in the chat if you're writing, reading, editing, or whatever it is you're working on. I read 2 chapters from the book I'm working on, Corpse, name of it. So mention the author's name, bro. Let me double check that and make sure I got it right. Oh, Jessica Carm. Oop, I always do that. So, let's see here. Carmen. Cameron? No, I missed it. Jessica Cameron. Yeah, that's what it is. Corpse. Jessica Cameron. It's a thriller mystery, I think it is. Pretty good. It's not bad. I think I'm on chapter 6 right now. Yeah, chapter 6. Devin said I wrote 215 words. I have to stop and refer to my sword fighting cheat sheet. Cool, cool. Jocelyn Stick. I always like that in movies. Too funny. Plus 2031. Nice, nice. Nice. Pardon me. I this next sprint I have to finish uploading my video for today for my Layer the Mistress for my channel. So that'll be coming out right after the stream ends around 8 o'clock. So I do have to finish editing because I didn't finish editing it. I'm busy. So I'll do that and I'll put my book down for a little bit and then I'll come back to it after I'm sprinting tonight. But my sprint on my live stream sprints on Tuesday, I'm going to definitely be writing again. Because I want to submit to the Bookworm zine, Regina St. Clair, new issues coming out. And the deadline to submit is May 31st. It is short horror they're looking for. Maybe I could pull it up. Let me see if I can pull it up. I think I'd have to get the link from my Insta. Let's see here. That's a good word count for today. Good job. Congrats on that. As Jocelyn said, yes. Good number for the day for sure. Let's see. Let me see. I'm trying to see if we can find this link so I can share it. Copy. All right. Go here and share it. No, not there. Oh yeah, I should share it with the author friend of mine who might be interested in that, but she might already got the link by now. So let me see if I can grab it here. Catch you later, deal. Thanks for stopping in. Let's see here. Go to Facebook and get the link. So you all can know what the heck I'm talking about. Let's see here. Yeah, let me just share the screen with you all in a second. That's back to screen share. There it is. Share. Here we go. Yeah, this is the call for submissions for the Bookworm Horror Zine, issue number 8. It's really cool horror zine, kind of like classic style. I really like it, and the writers get paid for this work. I've submitted twice. I've been in 2 of them, I believe. And you could also submit poetry. But this particular submission, see, our upcoming issue is diving deep into cryptic horror, where folklore meets fear and shadows are never empty. From the fog-drenched hollows of Appalachia to the airy stillness of primitive forests, we're looking for stories that stare that ancient dread and the kind that makes you glance over your shoulder just in case. Rather, this beast from local legends or psychological horror born from the depths of your own personal wilderness, we want your weirdest, wildest, and most chilling creations. Think backwoods folklore, eerie encounters, survival nightmares, and twisted myths. So yes, deadline May 31st. As you see here, you need to get paid 8 cents a word for fiction essays, 1,500 words or less. The target 25 for short poems, 10 lines or less, or $50 for longer poems. Includes one contribution because you get one copy of the zine sent to you. And the requirements are no reprints or multiple submissions, please. Exclusive rights for 6 months after publication, and after that, you do whatever. You have to mail in physical because of the online submission was getting a little too much, so she then switched it to this. So if you're interested, then check it out. I will put the link in the chat for you if you would like it. Let's see here. Paste. Share it so anyone wants to grab it while they're here and check it out. But yeah, so that's what I'll be working on Tuesday when I do my sprints. I'm writing a short story for that. I actually wrote a few of my short horrors when I was in Regina has multiple anthologies that she did, and I ended up being in them. I submitted for quite a few of those. Ended up in all three, but my poetry was only in one, and my short horrors was in the other two. Run with and Fractal made it in those. So I'm looking forward to trying to submit for this. Even if it doesn't make it in, I still have a short story that I can publish. So definitely going to be writing for that on the next live stream. So if you're interested, check it out. It's always nice to find out about these things and try to share them. Share them. Let me get the next timer up here. A second here. Let's see, I know I uploaded one more today. That's It's in His Eyes, one of my more dark romance ones. We'll go with that one for the last sprint of the night. Oh yeah, sure, anytime. All right, add this to that one. That was one of my talking ones. I need to share the screen. There we go. Share. All right, so let's get on to our last sprint of the night. 30 minutes. Good luck with your writing, and I'll see you in 30. And that's time. Managed to read 3 chapters that time around. SD popped in right when we were about to end. Hey, SD. Thanks for earlier. Caught up with the hubby from being out of town. Now working on AWC. Get ready for the live stream on Thursday to reveal the full schedule. Cool, cool. Very excited for that. And you are doing marathon sprints coming up, right? SD, if I remember correctly. Oh, I am reading a book called Corpse by Jessica um, Cameron, I think her last name is. It's one of the books I got on Get Authentic Book Reviews. Let me see. Make sure I have her name right because I kept getting it wrong earlier. Jessica Cameron. Yes. Corpse by Jessica Cameron. Oh, you just did the most, right? That was this weekend. I was doing so much stuff that I missed the dates. My bad. We have more, certainly not in the next couple of weeks. Well, I would imagine, but you have your regular sprints too. I actually should be able to catch some of your morning sprints on Monday because I actually have off in the morning. But I tend to be up around that time if I don't have to work. Um, so I'll probably be eating breakfast when you're sprinting. So I'll probably come join on there. So I never freaking get off during the week. So I think I'll take advantage of enjoying your sprints finally. Catch one in the morning because I'm always usually driving to work when you're going live, which is always funny. So sometimes I get a chance to pop in and say hi. But yeah. Yay, you added 510 words. Woo woo. But yeah, so I am enjoying the book I'm reading so far. So it's much better than the one I had to end up DNFing. Oh my, I'm so sad about that. But it was not, as you all heard earlier, that I did not enjoy it, and it was not. It was a hot mess. So anyway, thanks for joining me for the sprints tonight. That is my time. I'm a little over actually, which I knew I'd probably be because I did ramble on for a while for the one of the in between chats. But yeah, I got to use 3 of my new timers. Check them out on my channel if you're doing sprints and you need some timers and you don't have any of your own. Then definitely check them out. Yeah, you caught the end. I got on here at 6, like right after thing. I got on here. My usual time is 6 to 8. I only usually do for 2 hours. But yeah, thanks for popping in, even though it's at the end. Um, but yeah, if you didn't catch the live stream I had with Awesome SD earlier, go over and check out the replay. Of course, you want to hear a little bit about Caliostro. Someone even won a paperback of edition of Caliostro. If you want to pick up your own copy of Caliostro, it is available on all major ebook platforms as well as on Amazon in ebook, paperback, and hardback. And audiobook is also now available on Apple Books. So it's something for everyone out there for Caliostro. Um, the ebook is $3.99, so it's pretty reasonable. The audiobook is only $4.99. If you have an Apple product, you could get that. And the paperback is 14 something. But yeah, so I hope you get a copy of Caliostro, and please, if you do, I would love a review from you because that really does help us authors out. Getting reviews on Amazon and books. Was it Goodreads as well? So anyway, and thank you, Essie, for sharing the link. I appreciate it. It is also down in the description for anybody who comes on this one replay. Then do check it out, and I will see you on Tuesday for my next sprints. See you then. Good night.